Okay, very good evening to everyone. So we're going to start our monthly Dhamma Talk in English. So those students, those children who are here with me, please kindly put your palms together and recite Namo Tassa 3 times to observe the precepts. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Saranaгаmanang sampunnang. Pānātipātā veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Adinnādāna veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Kāmesu micchāchārā veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Surāmeraya majjapamā dattāna veramani sikkhapadan samadhiyāmi. Tisaranena saddhim pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ sādhukaṃ surakkitaṃ kattvā appamādena sampādetabbhaṃ. Samantā cakkavālesu atrā gaccantu devatā. Saddhammaṃ munirājassa sunantu sagga mokkadaṃ. Dhamma savana kālo ayaṃ bhadantā. Dhamma savana kālo ayaṃ bhadantā. Dhamma savana kālo ayaṃ bhadantā. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear friends in the Dhamma, wholesome children, as usual, you have come to our temple in this evening to spend some time, to spend some few minutes to listen to the teachings of the Buddha. You all know that we organize this series of Dhamma Talks in English every month. So time to time we see newcomers, and sometime they come and sometime they don't. Maybe because sometime during weekends, most of the parents and children, they have a lot of obligations and duties, and they have to go to sports, swimming, other concerts, or all those things, right? So it is very difficult for them to find some time to come and listen to the Dhamma. Sadly, because most of the time people have thought going to those places with their children are much more important than come and listen to the Dhamma. Yeah, that is what they think. But that is not always right, because we have to balance our studies in terms of doing our school studies and also our religious values and norms. We have to learn them also. Why do I say that? Because you know that sometime, let's say like that, if your child or if your children one day, if they face some difficulties and some problems in their life, and if they go on a wrong path, then they, as parents, they regret. When they were small, we should have brought them to temple. When they were kids, we should have brought them to temple, and we should have taught them some Buddhist teaching. So that's how they think. But that is too late, right? So we have to impart, or we have to put things, good things, into our children's mind when they are young, when they are children, right? Just like this, if you want to plant a tree, so soon after you sow a seed or put a seed on the ground, so you need to put all the fertilizer, water, and other requirements for the tree to grow. If you do not provide all those basic needs, it may not grow as it is, right? So therefore, if you want your child to be a good one and a righteous one and right one and good in manners, so you have to teach them when they are small and when they are young, right? Do not always think that only secular educations is the important for their life. Secular education is good for their living, earning, but religious education are the most important things to arrange their life meaningfully, right? So therefore, please tell your friends, tell your classmates, tell your neighbors to come and listen to the Dhamma, because Dhamma is beautiful and sweet in the beginning, and Dhamma is beautiful and sweet in the middle, and Dhamma is beautiful and sweet at the end, right? So don't waste your time just going to those places and studying, but try to at least once a month. This is not every week we have Dhamma talks. It's once a month. So if you still can't come at least for once a month, I'm not sure how your future gonna be, right? So please, you as parents, you are the responsible people for your children. So it is your duty to find some time for them to come and let them to listen to Dhamma. So that is my advice. So today we're going to learn about very important teachings, very common and very important problem actually in our life. So today we are going to talk about how to overcome stress and how to deal with the stress. We all have this kind of stress, right? We have different kind of stress at some time. Nobody is free from stress. Stress is a very common factor in our life, right? It doesn't matter you are young or old or middle-aged person, doesn't matter. Stress may come to you and stress may be with you in every occasion or every different stages of your life, right? We are not free from stress. So since it is our part of our life, since stress is a part of our life, we have to know how to deal with it. If not, we will become a victim of the stress, right? So the stress may control you until you take your own life. Many people take their own life because of this stress. That is the danger of this stress. So we had to know how to deal with it and how to tackle with that stress. Okay, it is very dangerous actually. So we need to know how to deal with it. So the Lord Buddha, he has taught, he has explained, there are two types of sicknesses in this world: mental sicknesses and also physical sicknesses. There are two types: physical illnesses and mental illnesses. Which one do you think more serious? Which do you think, physical sicknesses or mental sicknesses? Which are more serious? Mental, yeah. Mental illnesses are the most serious problems in the world. Or mental sickness is the most dangerous and serious illness in the world. Why do I say? Not I say, the Buddha said. Buddha said that the mental sickness is the most dangerous and most harmful illness in the world. Why? Because if you get physical sicknesses, like if you get runny nose or fever, or sometime headache, or sometime stomachache and toothache, if you get that kind of physical sicknesses, so do you have various types of advanced medications for that, right? So there are different types of advanced hospitals for certain sicknesses, right? So if you get cancer, yeah, this is there is a specialist doctors for that special sicknesses, right? So you can go to them and you can get the specific type of medication for them, certain illnesses, right? So we don't have to worry about physical sicknesses if you get it. For example, sometimes if I get runny nose, so straight away I go and take a cold and flu tablet, right? If I take that tablet, it's very quickly I can recover from runny nose, right? If you get a hay fever, and there are a lot of other types of medications for you to take. So we don't have to worry about the physical sicknesses if you get all the time, right? Because we have doctors, we have different medications, we have different hospitals, methods. So we don't have to worry about physical sickness. But when you get mental illness or mental illnesses, do you have medicine like that? No, there are no such modern advanced medication for your mental illnesses, except some methods and ways to deal with the mental stresses. That is why the Buddha said that mental stresses are very serious, because there are no medications for that, except some methods to deal with it. Understand? And the Buddha further said, Buddha said, a people can live without physical sicknesses. They can stay without getting flu, runny nose, fever, or other types of sicknesses. People can stay without physical sicknesses, but Buddha said that people can stay without sicknesses for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 50 days, 100 days, 70 days, like that, as long as they live. Sometimes they can stay without physical sicknesses, but no one can stay a single moment, a single day without mental stresses. See, that is the danger, right? Not only people, not only children, not only middle-aged people, not only old people, we all get mental illnesses sometimes, stresses. Even I get sometimes mental stresses, right? Because if I had to conduct a lot of temple activities all the time without having enough rest, I get stressed. That is normal, because we are just ordinary human beings, right? Time to time we get mental. So what I want to say is that nobody is free from mental illnesses. So you may get it time to time, right? So that is the danger of these mental illnesses. So we all get like stress, anger, frustration, ill will, jealousy, and hatred. So all these are called as mental problems, right? Jealousy, hatred, delusion, ill will, all those are impurities in the mind, right? So if you have hatred, if you have jealousy, if you have ill will, so you may get stress one day, not one day, all the time. Understand? So that is the danger of this mental stress. So, who is the best doctor? What do you think? Who is the best specialist doctor for mental stresses? Can anyone tell me? Who is the best specialist for mental problems so far? Yeah? The Buddha. The Buddha is the one who is capable of giving medication for mental illnesses, right? It is not something like regular medications, but they are very special. The Buddha's medication is straight away to the mind, right? Straight away to the mind to overcome mental illnesses, okay? So, so Buddha, because he had a special technique, he usually identify the sicknesses, mental sicknesses, and he identify the cause of sicknesses, and then he understand that there are some ways and methods to deal with the stresses, and then he prescribe and he deliver and he show us the methods and ways to deal with the stresses, right? So it is easy for him. The first thing he do is that he identify the cause, and then he know that these are the reasons for these particular problems, and they know how to overcome from that, right? So Buddha has taught in that manner. It's a very precise. So today we are going to learn about the Buddha's techniques to deal with the stress, okay? The Buddha's methods to deal with the stress. So listen carefully, okay? Before that, let's talk about some kind of general ideas about mental stresses, okay? So what are the causes? Normally people get stressed because of if they undergo any kind of pressure or mental impulses, right? Sometimes some people get stressed because of that. That's according to Buddhist explanation, people usually get stressed because of if they undergo any kind of pressure or any kind of mental impulses, okay? So these are some kind of explanations which I found in Buddhist text, okay? Even though sometimes you know that children, we may get some kind of bit of stress, a little bit of stress. Little bit of stress is not harmful to us. We must have some kind of little bit of stress to do the things energetically and enthusiastically, right? The problem is if we have high mental pressure or mental stress in a high level. But normally, if you have a little bit of mental stress, that is completely fine. Because if you do not have a little bit of mental stress, you can't do your things energetically and enthusiastically, right? If you want to do your things enthusiastically and energetically, you must have some kind of stress, right? It's not high and deep stress, but a little bit of it, right? That's sometimes when you want to study, you want to do it better than others, right? You want to do much better than others. So that's kind of little bit of a healthy stress. That's called healthy stress, okay? So according to Western psychologists, modern psychologists, they have come to the conclusion to say that the many reasons have been introduced as causes for mental stresses according to Western psychologists. Okay, they said people can get stressed because of sometimes brain infection. If they get brain infection, so sometimes they get stressed. That's how Western psychologists explain. And due to chemical disorders, they say like that people get stressed. Okay, sometimes if they take heavy antibiotics or if they take longer period of pills for some certain sicknesses, right? So sometimes they get stressed like that. Or I hate to take this medicine; it's really killing me. So such kind of chemical disorders. Because of that, people get stressed, right? And sometimes, again, due to problems of physical and nerves, right? So people get stressed, okay? But according to the Buddha, he said people usually get stressed because of excessive greed, right? Excessive greed. So if you have very much greed, if you are very much greedy, and you want everything in this world. I want this and I want that one. I want this and that. So if you have that kind of greed all the time, excessive greed, and then you get stressed because your needs may not give you full of satisfaction, right? So you need more and more. You never feel enough, right? Sometimes like that, we like this because we have excessive greed. So Buddha said that greed, desire, attachment, hatred, ill will, jealousy, and delusion, and doubtfulness. So these are some kind of internal mental thoughts that cause us to have stress, right? So these are the internal causes according to the Buddha. So if you have these kind of mental impurities in the mind, so those impurities will lead you to even killing, taking revenge, and to do other wrongful activities, right? So this is the danger of these mental impurities in the mind. Understand? So that is the causes according to the Buddha. So, and some of the other common causes for mental stress, according to the text, according to the book I have read. So there are some kind of causes, common causes for people to get sick. Not sick, I mean stress. Okay. So what is the first one? Financial problems, right? But these causes may be differ from someone to other, from one to another. Okay, maybe some people may have some kind of different causes to get stress compared to other people, right? Not all the causes are similar to everyone, right? So you have to understand that. Sometimes for some people, financial problems are ways to get stress, but for some other people it is not, right? Like that. So financial problems, especially this is if you are very poor, if you don't have money to buy your needs. Let's say that if you are a child from a poor family, so if you want to buy a very good shoes, pair of shoes and good clothes, but if you don't have money, so thinking about that, why I was born a poor person, why I was born into this poor family, destitute family. So thinking in that way, you may get some kind of stress, right, in the life. Yeah. So the financial problems cause us to get stress, right? Does it make sense? Yes, it is makes. And job problems, right? Sometimes some people get stressed because of jobs, right? Sometimes if you had too much work at the job, oh, I don't want to go and work, right? Like they like to stay. They like if weekends come, if Saturday Sundays are there, they like very much because I don't want to go to work. I want to stay at home. But when Sundays come, it's a blue Monday, black Monday. They complain like that because they don't want to go and work, right? Because they don't like working. Because sometimes too much work, or sometimes the people who are in there are not really nice, right? So they are maybe troublemakers, right? Give a lot of pressure to work. So that's how people get stress, right? Does it make sense? Yeah, it is make sense, right? Yeah, that is job problems, okay? And sometimes if the people can't find jobs, they get stressed, right? Especially students who come to Australia from Sri Lanka. So if they can't find jobs, or they find a lot of hard time for them, and they get a lot of stress. How to pay my tuition fee, how to pay my university bill, university fees, course fees, and electricity bill. All those things come to their mind if they do not have jobs, right? So like that. So if you have jobs, if you don't have jobs, you still get stressed, right? That's how the life. And death of the loved one. If you lose any of your loved one, let's say one day if you lose your father or mother, so you may get stressed thinking about, oh, I have lost my mother, I have lost my father, I have lost my close friend. So thinking about that, you get stressed all the time because you keep thinking on that area all the time, right? So if you keep thinking one thing many times, consecutive time, again and again, that may cause you to get stressed, right? Have you experienced like that? Yes, yeah, like that. I do experience sometime like that. And family problems. And sometimes if there are some problems in the family, so people get stressed, children get stressed. If parents always fight, if parents always quarrel, argue with others, oh, children get stressed. Even the mother, father get stressed, right? So that's how family problems make us stressed, right? Does it make sense? Yeah, like that, yeah. You know that when I was in Sri Lanka, there was a family next to my house, and one of the person, I think father of that house, he was addicted. He got addicted to alcohol. He always drink, always all from morning until the evening. He keep drinking. He was keep drinking, and then what he does after he get drunk and he come back home, and they start shouting, yeah, start scolding others, and saying the bad words, unethical words, right? So those practices may cause a lot of stress for children, right? Because the behavior of the father. So that sometimes family problems may cause us stresses, right? Yeah. And also relationship problems, right? Relationships, if the relationships do not work well as they expect, then get stressed, right? That is the danger, right? And examination, especially when you are about to face the exams, so you get a lot of nervous and anxiety and stress, and you do get. Even me, when I studied before, when my final examinations came to me, I usually get stressed. And how do I prepare for this examination? So what result I may get? So all those kind of thinkings come to my mind. So examinations are troublemakers, right? Always give a lot of pressure, but we should not avoid them. We have to deal with the examination as well, especially during this time. Our children, they are going to take their VCE exam, right? VCA. So they are about to take, maybe next month, I think they're going to take VCE exam. So now they are very nervous and they are very stressful now, right? Because they worry too much. If I can't get this type of marks, or what happen if I can't get this type of marks, what if I can't make my parents happy? So they have this kind of negative thinkings all the time. As long as if you have negative thoughts in the mind about those things, definitely you get stressed. Yeah, because you have unwanted thinkings, right? You don't, they are called unhealthy thinking patterns, thinking manners. If you want to overcome from the stress in terms of taking examination, do your things properly, do your things appropriately, complete the things that you are supposed to do today. Don't post them to next week or next day. Oh, I'm tired today, I don't want to do it today. I will postpone it to tomorrow, or tomorrow evening I will do it. oh, I still have 1 week, I still have 1 day, so I don't need to do this today. So in that way, you have a lot of postponing things. If you do that, yeah, definitely you get stressed, right? Because workload may increase, right? So do things that you are supposed to do today and finish them according to the exact day. Okay, do not postpone them. So examinations cause us for to get stressed. Okay, and also sicknesses. Sicknesses may cause us to get stressed. If you have incurable diseases, like if you have what is that called? What is that? The word doesn't come to my mind. What is that? A specific headache. It's like it doesn't come to my mind. It's heavier headache. Sometimes some people get a very painful headache, right? Sometimes it's called migraine, right? Yeah, migraine or migraine. Sometimes some people have that. So if you have that migraine all the time, how do you feel? You feel really painful, right? It's really stressful, right? I don't want to get up, don't want to eat, don't want to do anything. You just want sleep all the time, right? And then some people think, why this migrate always I get it? What it happens to me all the time? So thinking in that way, people get stressed, right? And also if you have incurable sicknesses like cancer all the time, or sugar, or cholesterol, high cholesterol, or people get stressed thinking about, oh, I have a good high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I need to concern about my diet. I need to concern about my food. So I should not eat meat. So they have this kind of thinking patterns. That's the cause of stress, right? That's the because of the stress. So these are some kind of common causes for people to get stressed, right? So have you ever experienced stress in terms of these problems we have, right? Not only you, even me, sometimes I experience that. Yeah, I have experience and I'm still experiencing. So I will experience in the future more as well. Yeah. So what are yeah, those are the causes for us to get stressed. And also we had to know some kind of symptoms. There are some specific type of symptoms of the stressful people. Like, let's say that I am a very stressful person. So if you see me, if I always get angry, if somebody comes to talk to me, and even if I get angry all the time, so that means maybe I have some stressful situation, right? So some kind of common symptoms are there also, as that book explains. Like people who are stressful always get angry, right? They don't want to talk with others, and they don't like if people come and talk with them, they get angry, right? So do you have your parents like that? Metuka metuli. Do you have parents like your parents are like that? No, right? Yeah, yeah. Sometimes we have like that, right? Sometimes if you always get angry, that means you are stressful, right? And anxiety. If you are if you are anxious all the time, if you have unnecessary fear of things, that is also kind of symptoms of a stressful person. Okay, and moody. If you are always moody, right? Don't want to eat. I want to sleep. I want to go. Don't want to go to school. I just want to spend time here. I just want to spend time being in the room without letting anyone come into my room. So some people get moody, right, because of this stress. That is another types of common symptom. And also loss of confidence. They do not have any confidence to do anything if they are stressful, right? Like, let's say that if I ask you to come forward and give a speech, so if you do not have a confidence to do it, then you get stressful, right? Because it's stressful make you lose of confidence, right? So that is another symptoms people get. And things negatively. The stressful people always think negatively. They never think positively. They always see the bad side of everything. They never see the good side of the things. They always think, oh, I can't do that. I can't. It doesn't work in that way. So I can't handle it. That I can't handle that. I can't bear it. I need to take my own life. I need to commit suicide because I can't take it. So that they always think negatively because they never think positive side of anything. Right? That is the problems of stressful stress. Right? And also. Excessive consumption of alcohol and drugs. People who are stressful, they like to take excessive consumption of food, alcohol and drugs, right? Because they think that drugs may help them to overcome stress. No, drugs do not help us to overcome from stress, right? Alcohol may not help us to overcome from stress. They may create more problems to our life, right? So, if you see the person who take excessively drugs and alcohol, that person may be stressful due to some problems, maybe family problems, maybe financial problems. So those are the reason for people to get addicted to alcohol and drugs. Okay, and difficulties of concentration. They can't concentrate at all, right? They can't sit and think, or they can't do anything. They can't practice meditation. They can't do things mindfully because they find difficulties of concentration, right? They even can't drive a vehicle or talk to people because they are lack of concentration of the actions. And talks a lot. Another problem symptoms, talks a lot, right? If you are stressful, they keep talking, keep talking. Even they don't care whether it is an appropriate place to talk or not to talk, but they don't mind. They anyhow talk, right? That is the stressful person's act, right? And forgetful, and that is also another kind of symptoms. You always forgetful if you are stressful, right? And headache, you will always get headache, right? And also dry mouth. This is always the experience, right? Me, I sometimes I have experienced this before. In this school, so sometimes soon after I became a monk. So if my master asked me to give a Dhamma talk, so I didn't know how to do it when I was a very very little novice monk. So I always got dry mouth because word doesn't come to my mind. I was very much anxious and I didn't know how to do. So that's how feel. How this when the stress attacked us, that's how we feel. Dry mouth, right? That's also kind of symptoms. If you are stressful, you may experience that. Yeah. And also difficulties of taking decision. You can't take any decision when you are stressful because you never think, or you can't think positive side of the things because you always think negatively of things. So you can't really make any decision when you are stressful, right? Because your mind is very stressful and you do not know how to make good decision and what to make good decision about. And eating disorders. Sometimes some people they don't really eat when they are stressful. They avoid food. They think that food is like poison, right? They think like that. They avoid eating, and sweating. A lot of sweating, right? Sweat a lot if you are stressful. Yeah, these are very very common experience that we undergo, right? So these are the some kind of symptoms that we have when we experience stress in our life. And sometimes disorders of mental stresses. So these are some kind of symptoms that we experience all the time if we are stressful. So some are, because of this stress, some people get disorders as well as, right? Behavioral disorders. They are called disorders of mental stress. So what are those things? Like high blood pressure. You may get high blood pressure as a result of stress, and also sometimes you may get paralyzed, and also heart disease like heart attack, right? Sometimes some people get when they are too stressful, they get a heart attack. Yeah, they completely down. And also diabetics, also another problems of stressful, right? That's why we ask people not to be stressful if they have a lot of diabetics, right? If they have diabetics or high level of sugar, that's why we always ask them to practice meditation, just to calm down, right? Not to get stressed. Stress may cause us to increase our sugar level as well. And gastritis, right? Gastric, right? Gastric. Um, so sometimes some people get this kind of health issues and health problems. Your gastritis, yeah, may increase, and also insomnia. What is that? You find difficulties of sleeping, right? Insomnia. So this is some kind of disorders of mental stress. Sometimes some people can't sleep at night. All the night they stay awake. Why? Because their mind is so stressful. They can't find a peaceful night to sleep, right? Because thinking too much when they go to bed, right? That is the cause. That is the problems of this mental stress. And also depression. They get depression because of this mental stress, right? And also addictions of drugs and smokes, right? And suicide. That's final solution for them, right? People who are very stressful, they think that the only way to overcome from their mental stress is suicide, right? Suicidal actions they select at the end. That is not good, right? So that is a disorders of mental stress. See the danger of this mental stress, right? It's very dangerous, children. Very, very, really, really dangerous. That's why we have to watch our mind, look after our mind. It is mind that cause us to get stressed. If you watch your mind carefully, if you train your mind carefully, then you can say goodbye to the mental stress, right? And some people, when they get stressed, they sometimes use unhealthy ways or methods to overcome from mental stress. There are some healthy ways and unhealthy ways to overcome from this mental stress, right? Do you know some of the unhealthy ways to overcome stresses? Can anyone tell me? Unhealthy ways of overcoming stress. Yeah, sometimes smoking. People smoke a lot. People smoke a lot just to overcome from mental stress. Smoke doesn't give anything. How do you feel when you smoke? Does it give you full satisfaction, or does it give you does it give you some kind of energy to overcome your hunger or anything like that? No, I don't think so. I don't know why people smoke. I don't know what smoke gives them what. I don't know. Yeah, some people, that is unhealthy way, right? Smoking is unhealthy way to overcome stress. And alcoholism. People drinks a lot. Every Friday, after 5 days of working, they select bars. They go to nightclubs, bars. Why? Because they want to release their stress. How they release their stress? Drinking alcohols. Do you think that is a good way to release our stress? No, that is not. If you want to release your stress, right, there are other ways. I will tell you later. Okay? There are a lot of other ways, positive and healthy ways. Excessive eating and avoid eating. Some people, they avoid eating just because they want to overcome stress. It is not the way. It is not healthy way. And sometimes they excessive eat and avoid eating. Eat too much, eat all the time. From morning until evening, eat all the time. Right? They spend all the time at bars and restaurants, just eat. That doesn't help us. Yeah. And isolation. Isolation doesn't help us to overcome stress. Right? Isolation make you more moody and more stressful. Right? Because you are anxious to go out and be with your friends. And sleeping longer or not sleeping. Sometimes people use that as an unhealthy way. Right? not sleeping and sleeping long, all the day they sleep, from morning until evening sleep, and again next day sleep, and at night sleeps all the time. But the stress may not overcome from you. And anger and violence, sometimes they are very angry, right? Angry, they think that being angry is the way to overcome stress, or being violent is the way to get rid of anger. Doesn't make any sense, right? So anger may cause you other problems. Violence may cause other problems, may cause you to have a lot of other problems in your life, right? So the anger and violence may not healthy ways to overcome stress. So can you tell me what are the healthy ways to overcome stress? Yeah. What are the healthy ways? I have some here. So if you are stressful, go for walking. Go for walking daily walking or jogging, right? It doesn't cost anything. Do you have to pay for walking? No, it doesn't cost you anything. So go for daily walking. Walking is the best way to overcome stress, right? So do you know what I do? Soon after I had my lunch, when I take my lunch done, I spend 1 hour walking, right? It may help us to digest my food well, and also it may help me to uh, release if I have stress, consuming a lot of food, right? Yeah, that is how it works, right? So it's good. Go for walk every day, okay? Go for walking every day if you are stressful. And swimming, that's another way. Swimming. If you are stressful, get into the water and swim. Get into the pool and swim. Really help you. Cool you down. Calm you down, right? And also cycling. If you know how to do cycling or how to cycle, yeah, that's a good way. That's a healthy way, right? Don't worry about your stress. Get a bicycle and go for cycling. Go for jogging. Go for walking. Okay? And talk on the phone with the very close and good spiritual friends. If you have a very good friend, please spend time talking on the phone with them if you are stressful. Right? You can tell your problems to your friend, close friends. And spend time in the nature. Yeah, go to the nature. Listen to the creepy of the birds, creeping, right? Yeah, the sounds of the birds. Be in the nature. Spend some time in the nature. You can see a lot of beautiful snails, birdies, and other types of animals, butterflies, right? If you spend time in the nature, really help us to overcome stress. Yeah. And also, if you have a fish tank at your home, spend some time looking at it. It'll help you to overcome from the stress, right? And do some house chores or housework. You can help your parents to sweep the floor and do some laundering or washing clothes or washing dishes, right? But do not smash them or throw them away. But you can spend some time doing household activities if you get stressful, okay? And also listen to some music. Music are the good way to overcome from stress, right? Some kind of beautiful musics are there, right? Some kind of beautiful, very soothing music are there, right? Smooth music. Yeah, listen to them. Songs, favorite songs. And watch movies, right? You can spend some time to watching movies, all right? If you are stressful, like Tom and Jerry. Do you watch that? That is wonderful cartoon. I sometimes watch it, right? It's really, really fun, right? I don't think no one stay without laughing when anyone watches that cartoon. It's really beautiful. It's really nice. Spend some time watching cartoons or movies, right? So those things are healthy for us to overcome stress. Understand? And also reading books. Read some books, good books, right? If you are stressful, just take a book and read it. That's how you can say goodbye to stress. And also draw a picture, or write a letter, or compose a poem if you are stressful, right? Write a letter to your friend, write a letter to your mother, father, appreciate their work. Mom, I write it, this letter to say thank to you, appreciate you. So you can spend time on writing poems and letters. Those are considered as healthy ways. Okay? So these are the healthy ways. These are the common and general methods of overcoming stress. Now come to the Buddha's advice. How Buddha asks us to control our stress. Right? That is the most important part of this Dhamma talk. So listen carefully, okay? There are a lot of beautiful discourses of Buddha how to deal with stress. Okay? One of them is called Sabbhasava Sutta. Sutta with teachings which deal with taints and fermentation is called Sabbhasava. Discourses on taints or fermentation. Don't worry about the terms. In that discourse, Buddha has explained 7 ways of dealing with stress and problems. 7 ways, okay? 7 methods of dealing with stress and dealing with mental problems. 7, okay? First one. Listen carefully, okay? Remember, you can apply one of these to your life if you are stressful in the future. First one is by seeing or understanding, right? Dassana pahatabba. By seeing and understanding. What do you have to understand? You have to understand that everything is, this is quite philosophical and deep, but it's really help. You have to understand that nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent. Even your stress not going to be with you forever. Stress may have some time, and it will be there sometime, and it will vanish from you. It doesn't stay with you forever, right? That is called impermanent. Impermanent of the nature. And also you have to understand, children, everything may not happen as you expect, and the people may not act and behave as you expect and as you wish. Do you think that? Yes. People never act as we wished. Even you wish your mother, father, or your friends to be acted like that, he may not. Everything happens according to the nature of those things, right? Everything happens according to the causes and conditions. Everything happens according to their nature. We can't change the nature, right? So we had to understand that reality. We had to see it with wisdom, right? Everything is beyond our control, right? Everything is not under our control. Everything is beyond our control. So it is good that if you have that kind of understanding, that is the life. Everything may not happen as I expect, I wish. So I had to understand that reality. Life is tough. Life is like this. We had to face ups and downs of the life. So you had to have such kind of understanding, right? If you have that kind of understanding, so you are not going to create some troubles with your life, because you know the reality, and you're not going to make a lot of troublesome to your family, even to your life, because you know the reality, right? So the first thing is that we had to understand that everything is beyond our control, so we can't control them. They are not under our control, right? And everything is impermanent. So we had to have that kind of understanding, proper, right understanding. Okay, and also sometimes that you have to understand like this. This is stress, and this is cause of stress, and this is the cessation of stress, and this is the way leading to the cessation of stress. Yeah, so you have to have that kind of understanding also. Yeah, so if you get stressed, please understand that you are stressful, and then you have to find the cause for your stress, and you have to think that if I get this stress, there must be ways or methods to overcome stress, and then you have to apply those methods to overcome from stress. Okay, so you have to have that kind of understanding. And also, if you have that kind of understanding, uh, you don't have to actually get all those mental impurities like greed, hatred, ill will, jealousy, also desire, hatred. Those things are, even though those things are very common to our mind, but if you have right understanding about the nature, you won't have to get, you don't have to get that. You don't have to let those mental impurities come into your mind, right? So the first thing is that by understanding, by seeing the reality, we can overcome from stress. Okay, that's called dasana pahatabba. And the second one, sangvara pahatabba, by restraining and controlling your senses. Basically, how many senses do we have? We have 5 senses, right? We have 5 senses: eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and body, right? So we have 5 senses, right? Sometimes we make a lot of things to gratify our senses, right? We do a lot of things to gratify our senses, right? In terms of like ear, so they are called like sense doors, right? Faculties, sense faculties. We use those sense faculties to communicate with the world. We can't live without those senses, right? And sense objects, right? But we have to use them wisely, necessarily, right? Otherwise, we may get stressed. For example, eye. If I talk about your sense of eye sense, eye door, so people spend a lot of money, a lot of thousands of dollars to please their eye, right? Sometimes they go to watch expensive movies, expensive concert, right? So sometimes we can watch them on the TV, but sometimes we spend a lot of thousands of dollars to go and see. Not only that, sometimes they travel miles and miles to watch, to please our eyes in that way, right? Sometimes like that. Sometimes people do like that. But we have to understand, do we really need that? Right? Do we really need to go and watch that? Sometimes it's okay, not every week. Sometimes some people spend every weekend, every Thursday, every Fridays, every Saturdays to go and watch concerts or musical shows. But it's okay once a month, right? But not all the time, right? So if they can't get the tickets to go to the see the musical show of Justin Bieber, so they feel very sad. Oh, I had to wait another month, another year to watch. That's how you get stressed, because of this excessive fleecing of your eye, right? And also, when new gadgets comes like smartphones like iPhone 14 Pro, the new arrival, right? Newest one. So if it comes, people queuing for long hours, especially in Singapore, they queuing for many hours to get that iPhone. But they still have iPhone 13 or 13 Pro. They still have, but they still want to get the new one. All the functions are still the same, but they want to make their sense happy, excessive gratifying, excessive fleecing of their senses, right? It is okay if they, I know that some people say, oh, I have money, so what's the matter? I can get it. Yeah, but what I say is that that kind of gratifying or that kind of pleasing of your senses may not give you full of satisfactions, right? It may, your eyes may ask, I want more, I want more, I want more beautiful pictures, I want more beautiful watches, please buy. That's how the eye persuades you to buy things, right? That's why we have to understand the necessity of our needs, right? Then you can spend. Yeah, I have a lot of examples, but I don't have time to tell. So like that, children, and all ear. Sometimes we please our ears to listen to music all the time. Sometimes when they go to work, they listen to music. Then when they go for jogging, they listen to music all the time. Music is their life. But that is not really good actually, right? We need to know what is the proper time to listen to music. Maybe bedtime, or maybe in the morning, or maybe eating time or something, whatever thing, time like that. But not all the time, right? We have to be very careful when you walk on the road. Sometimes some people put earplugs, right, on their ears, and they just listen to music and they just cross the road, right? It's very dangerous. So that's why excessive pleasing of the senses may cause us to get stressed, right? So we need to understand the necessity of our need, okay? And the tongue, we please our tongue. Sometimes people spend thousands of dollars to eat chili crabs and other types of food, right? Go to McDonald's, go to McDonald's, go to fast food restaurants, always buy junk food, right? Always eat KFC, McDonald's, all those junk food, always. Why? They want to gratify, they want to please their tongue, right? Even though they eat one time, it doesn't stop you. You want more and more. That's craving. That's the danger of craving, right? That's the danger of this sense pleasure, right? So sometimes what happens if you keep eating junk food? When you become 30, 40, 50s, you get high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and also cholesterol, diabetics, all those physical problems you may get, physical sicknesses you get. And when you get those kind of physical problems, then you get stressed. Oh, I got a diabetics, I got a cholesterol, high blood pressure. Oh, my life is over. I may die very soon. So that's how you get stressed, because of this excessive eating, excessive pleasing of your senses, right? Therefore, Buddha said, please control your senses, understand your need, right? Why do we eat food? We eat food just to maintain our body, not for pleasure, right? Everything we need to do just to maintain ourselves, not for the pleasure, right? Pleasure for some certain extent is okay, but not excessively, right? So that is danger of this excessive using of pleasing of senses, my dear children. You have to be very wise, okay? That is the second one. The third one, patisevana pahatabba, utilizing basic needs meaningfully and necessarily and productively. How many basic needs do we have? Basic needs. What are the 4 basic needs that we need to have? 1, food, medicine, lodging, and what else? Clothing. These are the 4 basic needs of our human life. So the people work very hard in order to earn these 4 basic needs, right? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's really good, but there is problem with that. What is? Clothes. In terms of buying clothes, how often do you buy your clothes? Every weekend? Every month? Twice a month? Yeah, sometimes some people every weekend go for shopping, buying clothes. So if they try one piece of cloth one day, or they don't want to wear it next day again. They want to try a new one again. And you know what? They may have hundreds of clothes in their cupboards. So when they want to go somewhere, and when they open the cupboards, and when they want to select some clothes, they can't figure it out which clothes I'm going to wear, which clothes I'm going to try today, because there are so many. They spend hours and hours in there just selecting the clothes, right? That's how you get stressed, right? So the main purpose of wearing clothes is to cover our body. You have to understand that. But most of the time, people wear clothes just as a passion, right? Fashionable clothes are always there. They always come. But you have to know, you have to understand your necessity, your need, right? So once you have to understand, okay, I don't need to buy many clothes. I still can wear this, and it's good. You don't have to please others, right? You don't have to wear clothes to please others. You have to understand the purpose of wearing clothes, right? So having understand your needs and necessity, you can avoid buying unnecessarily, right? So don't ask your parents, don't disturb your parents always telling that, oh, please buy me clothes, buy some clothes on my birthdays, please, please, don't persuade them, okay? Don't do that. So that is not good. And also food. Yeah, food, also another matter, right? You have to understand why why I eat food. Do you eat to live or you live to eat? Which one do you practice? Do you eat to live or do you live to eat? Which one? We eat to live, but it happened another way around. People live to eat, but we need to understand we need food for our survival. Understand? And also a house, in terms of building house, sometimes some people build a huge house, right? Why? Because they want to impress their neighbors. They want to impress their friends. Oh, I have a big mansion, big bungalow. So please, this is my house. They want to show their standard of living. They want to show how rich they are, how wealthy they are. But to build that house, most of the time they have to apply for a loan, a huge loan, maybe 50 years long, 100 years long, 20 years long, and a lifetime long, right? Then when they finish building the house, when they want to sleep at night, they can't sleep, thinking, oh, I had to pay my mortgage, right? I had to pay this amount of money for this month, that month, and I had to hire many people to maintain my house, clean my house. So thinking that, you get stressed, right? Because why do we need a house? We need a house to live peacefully and safely, not nothing else, right? But it doesn't matter how big your house is, but we still live in that, right? Even if it's big or small, we still, what we do, we sleep and we stay there, nothing else. We don't need to surprise other people. We don't need to impress other people by building a big house. It's okay, but if you are really rich, if you have a big amount of money, if you are a billionaire or millionaire, that's all right. But if you are just middle income people, we have to understand our capacity and capabilities, right? According to your income, you can utilize your income according to your earning income, right? You can actually manage your living according to your income, okay? So these are the things that Buddha asks us to think about, right? Understand the needy and necessity. And the fourth one is enduring and tolerating. Yeah, we had to be patient all the time. We had to have tolerance, right? And we had to have endurance all the time, right? The one of the good methods to overcome all the problems is being patient all the time, right? Impatience may create a lot of problems. So if you are very good in practicing patience, actually you can overcome from any kind of stress, right? So that is the fourth one, okay? I don't have much time to explain in details. And the fifth one is avoiding, by avoiding. Parivajjana pahatabba. The fourth one is adivasana pahatabba. The fifth one is avoiding. Yeah, if you can avoid evil friends, right? Evil friends, like bad friends, actually you can stay away from stress, right? So sometimes if you associate friends who violate five precepts, who steal, who kill, who take alcohol, so if you associate those friends, so you may get influenced by them, and you may have to go and do all the unethical practices. So if you do that, maybe sometime later you feel stress, right? You feel stressful, and you may get a lot of stress. Yeah, that's the why Buddha said that avoid bad friends. In the Mangala Sutta, Buddha said that asevanacha bahalana. Don't associate evil and crooked and wicked friends. They try to be try to stay away from them. Okay, and also you can avoid places which cause you stressful, and the people who is stressful cause you stressful. Okay, that is a fifth one. Sixth one, removing. Removing means impurities, mental impurities like anger, hatred, ill will, jealousy. When those thoughts come to your mind, if you are very mindful, you can let them go away, and you can not actually, you don't need to let them to come and nourish or stay inside your mind, right? You don't need to nourish them. You don't need to let them come into your mind. Soon after you know that, oh, this is some unwholesome mental state, this is anger, and this is ill will, this is hatred. So I don't need to nourish them. I don't need to fertilize them. So if you are mindful, you can remove them, right? So we know the napahata, by removing all those impurities in the mind, you can actually overcome from mental stresses. The last one is the cultivating and development of the mind. Cultivating and developing the mind. That is called practice of meditation. So practice of meditation may help us to overcome a lot of problems, especially if you can practice mindfulness meditation, sati bhavana. That is very good. If you know how to apply SMS, if you do things, you can use SMS. You can do things slowly, mindfully, and silently. That is a good way to practice mindfulness, and that is a good way to overcome from stress, right? And most of the time, people experience a lot of problems in their life due to lack of mindfulness. If you cook something, so if you are not very mindful of cooking, maybe you add a lot of sugar into curry, and you may add less sugar or less spices, right? And then there may be some problems between mother and father. Oh, you haven't put salt into this curry, enough salt. You have put a lot of salt into this curry. How can I eat? So that's how people get stressed, because of lack of mindfulness, right? So people get a lot of problems in their life because of the lack of mindfulness. Understand? So if you can practice mindfulness all the time, when you eat, when you cook, when you study, when you think, all the time, please practice SMS. In order to develop your SMS, practice mindfulness. Anapanasati bhavana. Breathe in and breathe out meditation. And I wish you all the best. And may the blessings of this Dhamma talk be upon with you. Say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.